Hi, Internet people. So this Fangirl Freakouts is actually about a web series that has not made it out of the script phase yet. So on Twitter, the account Breathe In for Luck, or BIFL, has been following me for a little while, and I followed them back because the premise on their Twitter, which is Taylor's into Jill, who's into Chloe, who's into Kyle, who's kind of into Oliver, who's into Sarah, who's not into gender. Sounds really cool, right? So I followed them, and I just hadn't made the time to read the pilot until this week, which is super lame because the script is very short, and I should have just made the time, but I have this massive, like, to watch, to read, to edit edit, like, list. And so I sometimes get behind, but I made time for it this weekend, and I wanted to talk about the pilot pretty quickly, because it is a pilot that has not been filmed. It's just read, like you can only read it, and in it we meet some of the core characters. You meet Jill, Chloe, Oliver, Sarah, and very, very briefly Taylor. So Jill, Chloe, and Sarah all live together, and Taylor is going to be moving into a room that belonged to a former roommate, and when we meet everyone, we initially meet Chloe and Jill. Jill is described as digging her way out of incorrect reality, reconstructing important relationships, and becoming the best version of herself, while Chloe is described as would do anything for people she loves except show them how past trauma affects her because she doesn't want them to worry. In the pilot, what we see are the two of them coming home from work. They picked up takeout. Their plan is to chill out in this extra room, drink a little bit of alcohol, and eat takeout, even though they're not really supposed to be using the extra room because Taylor is going to be moving in the morning. Sarah tells them they definitely need to not use the room. It needs to be cleaned up. It needs to be ready to go. The two of them are like, yeah, no, we're totally not going to use it. And then immediately are in the room watching Ghost Adventures and drinking and eating takeout, which is amazing because I would totally do that. Not in the spare room though. I would listen to Sarah. But Jill and Chloe are very cuddly. It's a very cute scene to read. You can tell that Jill is more connected to Chloe. It does say in the little synopsis that Jill is into Chloe, and you can tell in the writing Jill is more taken by what Chloe is saying, more willing to let Chloe kind of cuddle up to her, be really close to her, and does actually get a little jealous when in one scene Chloe says that she also loves Sarah in like a platonic way. Sarah, I keep saying today, Sarah is with their friend Oliver, who works at a bakery. Sarah is described as black, non-binary lesbian, wrestling a fashion internship application and growing fatigue with everyone's bullcrap. It doesn't actually say bullcrap. Some of this is taken from a Twitter thread that was also reposted on their Tumblr. So Sarah's hanging out with Oliver. They're watching a Bible study and sort of monitoring what's going on. Sarah insists that one of the people is definitely a lesbian. Oliver's like, okay, sure, and winds up making them a swirled milkshake, and while making the milkshake we learn that the middle lever sucks, which is the name of the pilot. We don't meet everyone. I'm really sorry I keep saying, I don't know why that keeps happening. So we don't meet Kyle yet in this pilot, though he is described as a would-be 100% stereotypical bro if he didn't have so much junk floating inside. He's also listed as a closeted pansexual, and Oliver is described as a romantic bisexual baker, Sarah's best friend, and will always give you baked goods with his advice. Oliver, I also believe, is described, I swear in the script it says Korean, and I don't know why. It may actually be in there. I should have just pulled up the pilot script so I could double check, but I believe he is. So that could be wrong. If it is wrong, I'm sorry, but I keep like swearing it is. I haven't read a ton of scripts. I don't know why else I would think that, but it is possible that I'm confusing him with another Oliver character from something else, or I'm envisioning him as another Oliver character from something else. See, I did it again. I said, if I did drinking games to my videos, this one would be drink every time I say Don't actually do that. If you do drink, please drink water and stay hydrated. So, the pilot episode is fun. We get to see the characters interacting a little bit. Sarah is more authoritative. They are more focused on making sure the house is running smoothly, even though Jill and Chloe are more chill, hanging out. And then Taylor, who in the descriptions is described as keeping her distance from people so they don't see her anxiety. And then it mentions that she has a patronizing and emotionally abusive sister. I don't know who her sister is. None of them have Taylor's sister with them, and I don't think it's Jill or Chloe, and there's no mention of Sarah having a sister, and since Sarah is non-binary, they would just be siblings. So I don't believe Taylor and Sarah are related. So it sounded really interesting. I really enjoyed reading the pilot. I don't know if they're working on funding anytime soon, what the plan is. I do know more scripts exist. See, I did it again. I don't know what is up with me today. I think it's because I'm out of the groove. I didn't film a Tuesday video, so I'm a little thrown off. So that was Breathing for Luck. It's a really fun pilot read. You should definitely check it out. Check out their Tumblr and their Twitter. I will link to their Twitter. It actually links to the pilot and the Tumblr together, so I'm just going to link to the Twitter and you can link from there. The other aspect of this video I wanted to talk about was that I appreciated the Breathe for Luck script because it does discuss inclusion and representation. Sarah's character is non-binary. Oliver's character, you learn in the descriptions, is a romantic bisexual, though it's not mentioned in the pilot. Sarah's preference for they them pronouns is, which is cool, and I'm assuming throughout the course of the other scripts that there would be more development into that. So I really look forward to seeing more of this, and with that, representation is something that I think is so important. I know that I talk about it on here a lot, and it's with the weird YouTube thing that happened. Taking a moment. There was the issue where a lot of media that has very good LGBTQIA plus representation was not available in restricted mode, and it's really frustrating when just being who you are or trying to talk about who you are is something that becomes restricted, or just trying to get information out there is something that becomes restricted. There were even videos that just included people from within the community that were being blocked in restricted mode, and so it was just a very frustrating start to the week. Hopefully YouTube, they have said they are working on it, so hopefully the errors are fixed very, very soon. But representation is just so important, and having it available on a site like YouTube, which is easy to access, it's something that a lot of younger people can get on pretty easily. It allows people to find a community and a safe space and a way to understand themselves and see themselves reflected when they're not reflected on mainstream media, or to find people who make content that talks about the things that they're going through or helps them understand who they are when it may be the case that they are not finding representation anywhere else. They can't find someone to talk to. They can't find the information that they feel that they desperately need. So having information on YouTube through either YouTubers or scripted content, or really anything that gives positive discussions of the LGBTQIA plus community, is just something that is so necessary. So I wanted to focus on BIFL a little bit because their project sounds really cool. I hope that it will soon be on YouTube, or I'm assuming YouTube. I always assume web series will be on YouTube, but I hope that it exists soon. And while it does not exist outside of scripts, there are so many wonderful things that I've talked about on these Fangirl Freakouts that have great representation in them that you should be checking out, like Haunted or Hoax, Carmilla, Inhuman Condition. I have so many. My brain is full of things. You're like, really? Mislabeled has some. Then there are so many things that I talk about on here that I know I'm forgetting so many. But there's so many shows that you can be checking out. Couple-ish, definitely Couple-ish. That also has a non-binary character in it, played by Caitlin Alexander. They are awesome. Yes, there's so many more, but those are just top of my head, unplanned, blah, blah, blah. But definitely check out what you can. But it's just so important that representation is out there, and I just wanted to focus on that a little bit today. This video probably got super long with all of the ums. And seriously, you could play a hydration game based on all of them. You could. So there you go. I will link to BIFL's Twitter so you can get to their Tumblr and the pilot. You can find me on Twitter at ClefNotes, on my blog, clefnotes.wordpress.com. I write for the Nerdy Girl Express, thenerdygirlexpress.com. I sometimes remember to run their Snapchat, the Nerdy Girl EXP, and I post recipes on the iZombieSportGroup site, iZombieSportGroup.com. Bye, Internet people.